Chapter 13. Henry Jekyll's Full Statement of the Case. I was born in 1825 to a large fortune, and at a fairly early age discovered that I had a taste for science, and was intelligent enough, and rich enough, to follow any line of scientific inquiry which appealed to me. I was fond of the respect of my fellow men, and it seemed certain that a distinguished future lay before me. My chief fault was the fact that I had a liking for merriment, and there was a certain wildness in my nature which did not fit in with the common picture of a grave and learned doctor or scientist. I found it hard to combine these tastes with the image I wished to present before the public eye. So it came about that I took my pleasures, and was guilty of many sins, in secret, behind locked doors, and without beat of drum. When I reached years of reflection, I began to look round me and take stock of my progress and position in the world. I saw that I had, in fact, lived not one life, but two. Most men would have cared nothing for the sins I had committed, but the better side of my nature regarded them, and hid them, with a strong sense of shame. It seemed to me that although all men are made up of good and evil parts, in my own case the dividing line was most clearly marked. At various times, and according to the mood of the hour, I was either completely bad, or wished to do only what was good and right. Whichever side of me was in control, however, I was always in earnest. I was as much myself when I performed an evil deed in the dark of night, as when I worked in the eye of day at the relief of pain and suffering. It chanced that my scientific studies, which led towards the mystic, began to throw a strong light on this consciousness of the two sides of my nature. With every day that passed, I drew steadily nearer to the truth by the discovery of which I have been brought to ruin and disgrace. That man is not truly one, but truly two. I say two, because that state of my knowledge does not pass beyond that point. Others will follow and develop my work farther than I have dreamed. For my part, I advanced in one direction only. It was on the moral side, and in my own person, that I learned to recognize the two sides of my nature. I saw that even if I could rightly be said to be either, it was only because I was both. I began to consider the possibility of separating these two elements. Was it possible, I asked myself, that each could be set free to go its own way? Was it not the curse of mankind that these two elements were thus bound together and always struggling to gain the upper hand? But how could they be separated?